Hi, I'm Kyle.
And I'm Trevor, and welcome to Catching Up on Cinema. If you're not familiar with the program, Catching Up on Cinema is a podcast wherein Kyle and I take turns introducing one another to movies. Um, Today, however, we will be doing a monthly segment that we like to call Catching Up on Blu-ray. And what we do with these episodes essentially is take a look at the calendar month and just take a glimpse at what the physical media releases are going to be for the coming month. So we're in August of 2019, and if you're not aware, traditionally physical media releases, meaning like DVDs, 4Ks, Blu-rays, typically come out on Tuesdays. So if you want to follow along, go ahead and pull up a calendar and just take a look at what's out there. And the hope, the hope is that we can find some stuff to talk about here. Maybe potential purchases here and there. We'll see. But it looks like the first release date is August 6th. And right off the bat, we have an Arrow release for something called Alice Sweet Alice from 1976. Looks like potentially a giallo flick or maybe a early slasher. Not positive. I don't actually know this one. Do you, Kyle?
No, I'm not familiar with this one. I don't do slashers too much. I find them kind of boring. Um, but yeah, this one looks kind of like a slasher. I'm not gonna say giallo. Um, I have a list of top 10 giallo films, and I don't think this is on it, but I could be mistaken. This
Yeah,
could
I
be
don't
one.
I don't see any Italian names in there, so I don't think it's a traditional giallo flick. But my guess would be it's an early slasher flick. I actually kind of recognize the cover art. That mask is familiar, but then again, I've probably seen it a million different places. Beside that, though, probably the first major high-profile release of the month would be Pokemon Detective Pikachu on 4K. That came out in theaters just this year, so this is a brand new release. So Kyle, do you have any connection to the world of the Pokemans?
No,
None whatsoever.
I was alive. I was alive, and at the target age of Pokemon in the '90s, but it did not reach me. It did not get me.
I was pretty into it. Like
I can see
I
that.
bought a lot of the cards. I had Star Wars cards and Pokemon cards. I still have my first edition Charizard, which is I think worth well over $100 these days. So that's something I'll end up eBaying or something when I need to worry about like paying property tax or like putting a kid through college or something. But yeah, I definitely touched the Pokemon craze. Like I watched the cartoon fairly regularly. And yeah, I had the cards. The games, surprisingly, were maybe the thing I had the least connection to. This movie actually looked kind of cool to me, anyway. Like it looked like they actually tried, and that was kind of surprising. Because if ever there was a franchise that you could like half-ass the movie adaptation of,
Hmm.
just like put fan service in there, just shove all the things that people like in there, and just hope it works out, and then walk away from it. Pokemon would be the one I would expect would be very easy to do that with, but it looks like they actually tried to tell a story and like from a design perspective, like from an aesthetic standpoint. I don't know. I like looking at the trailers. I was actually kind of impressed with how they adapted some of these 2D characters. Well, traditionally 2D like hand drawn characters to CGI. The texturing they did on them is really fascinating. So I might actually like Redbox that or something. I'm not gonna pay full price, but I might rent it.
Yeah, I'm not buying that, but I'll definitely rent it with Steph. She was interested in watching it. We just haven't had a chance to watch it. I'll watch it. Ryan Reynolds is the voice of Pikachu, so I'm fine with that.
Yeah, yeah. No, I actually I'm a little bit up on that one. So I'm curious. But beside that, though, we have a film called The Curse of La Llorona. Kyle, you're into horror movies. That's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that's your area of expertise that you definitely have a hand over me in. Have you heard anything about this? Because I certainly have.
I have not, and I'll be honest with you, I was really close to watching it last night. I watched the previews for it. The guy who plays Sniper in Training Day is in it, and Velma from Scooby Doo. Um, Judging by that cast, I'm like, neither one of these people really are horror movie people. Like, not who I would think of. Um, it looks a little predictable for me. Like, it looks like, oh, this is gonna be some jump scares, but I'll go in on just cheap jump scares if I think that they can get me. I'm like, there might be some twists and turns in here, but I kind of skipped this one because it looked like it was just gonna be your basic jump scare movie and not a lot of substance. So, what have you heard about it so far?
I've heard it's pretty fucking bad.
Yeah, I can tell
I've
you
heard
that.
some awful stuff. Oh, by the way, Anuk Sunamun is in
Yeah.
it.
Oh,
I don't know
okay.
her. I don't know her name, but
Nobody
I
does.
remember seeing her face in the trailer. Yeah,
Huh.
Anuk
Anoxinamoon. Oh wait, the
but
'99 Anoxinamoon or the 2017?
yeah,
Oh no, yeah, because
'99.
she played the. I was thinking the hot one from um, Atomic Blonde in the new Mummy. But the original
Oh,
Anoxinamoon. Interesting.
oh, you were thinking about the French girl.
The Algerian
Can't
lady,
remember
yeah.
her name, but yeah, she's super French.
Yeah, super French.
Um,
Yeah, it didn't. I wasn't buying what they were selling. Yeah, I wasn't
yeah,
buying
I've
it.
heard it's very bad. I mean, the small novelty though of like it appears to be like maybe a demographic play where it's like, hey, let's make a movie for Hispanics and Hispanic Americans, like a horror movie or something. Let's see if we can target that niche audience or something. See if they'll turn out.
Well,
And I think it did make money because almost all horror movies do.
Well, I saw Veronica, which I believe is a Spanish film, a Spanish horror film, and it had like really high reviews. People were like, "Oh, yeah, this is so." Now I'm not buying what people are saying when they're like, "Oh, this movie's got a lot of hype behind it." People were like leaving, like couldn't finish watching it. It was too scary. I'm like, "Oh, interesting." And I got through Veronica. I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" That was okay. That was fine. That wasn't anything to write home about. It was okay. And then I found out, I think I found the trick to finding a good horror movie. If people hated it and people loved it, it's probably pretty good. Hence Hereditary. Hereditary is fucking terrifying. And people were like, oh, it's a fucking terrible movie. It got horrible reviews. But other people were like, oh, no. Hereditary is awesome. Those are the reviews you need to be looking for. This,
So
go for it.
So what you're saying is instead of like a general consensus view, you're like keeping your ears out for like divisive horror films.
I need someone to tell me that not that it was too scary. It was too scary. I couldn't finish it. I need somebody to say like, oh, I hated it. I hated that horror movie. Because people say that about the Witch. They don't talk about not being able to finish it. They're like, oh, I hated it or I loved it. I think that's a
Well,
better
that could
gauge.
mean it's. I mean, that could mean it's repulsive to the point that they couldn't handle it. Oh, or challenging to a degree that they couldn't stomach it or something. Because I could totally see Hereditary and The Witch being movies that people either get bored of or just uncomfortable with to the point that they disengage from it because they don't like the feelings that it's causing them to experience.
Well,
'Cause The Witch is horribly tense at times, and some of those conversations, those like the domestic stuff in Hereditary in particular, even more so than the horror stuff, is pretty rough.
yeah. But yeah, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying the people can't finish this movie. It's too scary. Like, not buying it anymore. Not
Well, I mean
having
that makes me think of like some cheap YouTube thing where it's like you'll never believe how tall he is or something. You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah, I know
The
what you're talking
clickbait
about.
bullshit. He's so much bigger in real life.
Yeah.
It's like,
Bad.
eat 20 of these a day and you'll live forever.
Yeah, bad source. You're right. Bad source.
Yeah.
But I gotta go from something. I gotta go from something.
So moving on, we have Batman Hush.
I'm fine.
2019 on Blu-ray and 4K. So Kyle, this is based on a graphic novel. Well, I don't think it's a graphic novel. I think it was a miniseries, but the comic source material was pretty fucking good. In like a crowd pleasing sort of way. It's not high art by any means. It's not The Dark Knight Returns or The Man Who Laughs or anything like that. But it's kind of like a like a tour through Batman's Rogues Gallery. Like all the heavy hitters come out to play for a chapter or two, and it's fun. So I'm actually kind of curious about this. I haven't watched one of these DC animated movies in quite some time because to me they started to turn into just like punch fests after a while. It's like, okay, it would be nice if we could tell a story or like actually have characters, but no, it's just pure fan service. And I'm sure this is going to be 20 times more guilty of that because the source material is just that. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it's like, if any Batman comic in recent memory was going to get me to come back to watching one of these, this would probably be the one. So again, this is something I might Redbox. I'm certainly not paying full price for it though. Mm-mm. Especially since DC Warner Brothers animated productions tend to be a little bit jank. If I'm gonna pay full price for animation, it better be crisp animation. So moving on though, we have, this is probably a re-release, but Gods and Monsters on Blu-ray. It's starring Ian McKellen and Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, it's been on my list. It's been on my list for a while. I'm not buying the Blu-ray. This is a Prime rental for me. I don't need to own this.
Yeah, I certainly wouldn't buy this, but I remember my mom, of all people, was really up on that movie. She was like, "You should watch this, son." So okay, maybe I'll make it up to her at some point. But, trudging on along, though, we have a Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau film, The Front Page from 1974. I'm not sure if that's its first time on Blu-ray, but could be fun. I like both of those guys.
I lean more
Penguin
Matthau.
Highway. I mean, Walter Matthau's a gem. Like there is no man that has been more cantankerous than Walter Matthau.
I watched The Odd Couple not too long ago. Very long, kind of funny, but the best parts were Walter Matthau.
Yeah, that's generally how that works. Yeah. Jack Lemmon, he tries hard though. Oh, he tries. Penguin Highway from 2018. This is a anime. It's a feature film. I know it got some hype. I know nothing about it though, other than it's pretty well animated. Oh! Something to get excited about. What We Left Behind, also from 2018. This is the documentary about Star Trek Deep Space Nine. And see, I only just started watching Star Trek The Next Generation a few years ago. I'm almost done with it. I think I'm in the 6th of 7 seasons. And I'm really digging it. Like I'm like, man, why wasn't I watching this all these years ago? I was a stupid kid.
Still really, really, really trying to get through that first season. It is really hard.
It's pretty rough. I managed to power through it. Like I didn't skip it. I did watch it, but it is not what it would become. It is not representative of what it is on the whole. But I know there's been this big hubbub about Deep Space Nine though in the past few years because I think it's like the one Star Trek series that isn't ever going to get a HD remastering, and it has something to do with the expense that would go into completing that process. Like the ends don't justify the means or something from the perspective of the people who own the rights to it. So I guess this is like a very comprehensive documentary just talking about the making of Deep Space Nine, and it has a lot of cast interviews and stuff like that. And as more time passes, it seems like one of those shows that maybe was better than people realized while it was on the air, but it seems like the chances of it getting a revival or like a remastering are slim to none. So I might actually watch that, like in lieu of actually watching the show. Tolkien. Have you heard of this, Kyle?
I'm fine. I'm actually I'm actually reading the Fellowship of the Ring right now. I just finished the meeting with Elrond and whatever the elf's place is called. I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, I prefer to just read his books, and then I'll maybe eventually read a biography about him. I knowing how he came up with Lord of the Rings, this might be interesting, But I think the story itself is just interesting. I don't think I need a whole movie about it. Yeah, I'm fine. And I don't like this actor, whoever he is. I can't.
Oh, Nicholas Hoult?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I have almost no opinion of him.
He just doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah, I know he was on a pretty high-profile UK TV show. Then he hooked up with Bryan Singer, probably not literally. Did a few movies with him, including like that Jack the Giant Slayer movie that everybody forgets happened.
Isn't he Beast? Isn't he Beast in the new X-Men movies?
Yeah, he's New Beast. No, he's New Beast. He's NU Beast.
He seems like he just went out for every role that Eddie Redmayne has, and he's just never going to get it.
And Lily Collins, I think she's a good actress, but she's just a pair of eyebrows to me.
It's a weird way to. It's a weird way to put it.
I think he gets roles, but I don't know. No, I think he gets roles, but they're just not the roles that I'm interested in watching. So he's just off my radar. I'm sure he's on plenty of people's radars, just not mine.
Well, I don't know about radar.
So what else we got here, Kyle?
Yeah, we've got a Foreign Affair. That's too old for me. You kind of, if you're going back super old, you kind of have to just hit the hits, man. You can't trudge through everything. Like you need some recommendations.
Yeah, you got to stick to the diehards. You don't need the Under Sieges of the 1940s.
No. I mean, you can't be doing that. Attack of the Titan. I don't know what that is all about.
Oh, I'm gonna pause you for a sec. That's an anime series that my brother, of all people, started watching. He's been out of the game even longer than me, maybe 2 decades. But yeah, apparently he started watching it. It's a international sensation. Like people the world over are absolutely obsessed with this thing. It almost kind of feels like the anime equivalent to like Game of Thrones, like that kind of fandom where people are obsessed with it. And it also has that thing where character death is like around every corner and you never know when it's going to happen.
Oh, that's fun.
So it has that hook going for it. But if memory serves, that's supposed to be the last season, so that might be the last of it. I might watch it now that if it is done, I might actually watch that.
I'm going to quote Chandler Bing here and say, yes, it was very sad when the artist stopped drawing them.
Nice.
He was talking about Bambi. So yeah, I mean, that might
is
be
that
kind of
a
fun.
Criterion next to it?
Yeah, you can judge a Criterion by its cover. I don't know about that. That looks not up my alley.
An Angel at My Table, 1990. Who made it?
Yeah.
Like maybe that will explain to us what.
Maybe.
I have no idea who Jane Camplin is, so nope. Sorry. Oh, it's from New Zealand.
Oh, New Zealand. Okay. Well, okay. That might be something there. The Reflecting Skin. Okay. I don't know what that's all about.
Is that Vigo?
I can't tell.
That is Vigo.
Is it?
That is Vigo.
That's an old one.
1990. Vigo Mortensen.
Yeah.
Huh. I'm still not interested, but
Yeah,
it's always nice seeing him.
I'm not going. He's not a guy that I go out to see his movies, but if someone recommends a Vigo movie, I'm like, it's probably pretty good. I'll watch it. Strike Back Season 6. What the fuck is Strike Back?
I want to say it's like a Cinemax TV show or something.
Oh, nobody watches those.
Exactly. But apparently it's been on for 6 years and nobody cares.
I think Bored to Death. Isn't Bored to Death Cinemax?
Hell, I wouldn't know.
They might be HBO. I was going to say, I think Bored to Death's like the only thing Cinemax, but I think that might even be HBO, but I'm not positive. A bunch of... I don't know.
Well, we need to stop for a second and at least acknowledge Charlie Says, because...
What is that?
Well, I mean, a little movie called Once Upon a Time in Hollywood came out not too long ago, and I can bet money that this is based on the Charlie Manson story. Hey, it is.
I didn't even realize that.
So, the Asylum or whatever probably cranked something out in a hurry to cash in on the inevitable craze, which I'm sure all those locations in LA are probably like the tourism bureau is probably going nuts right now. People are like, I want to see the Manson compound. I want to take Instagram photos at the Manson compound.
Yeah, I'm sure Roman Polanski's really liking that.
But yeah, I mean, we're like, trends are very, very powerful things, and you know, inevitably, if you have a blockbuster, if you have a hot topic of the day, there's probably going to be a movie adaptation of it at some point. And yeah, I'm sure there are going to be many Charles Manson movies coming out in the next few months here. Touch of Death, 1988. That's kind of a cool cover. Looks, I don't know, looks like a Whitesnake album or something.
I was gonna say, that girl's got some butt. They definitely put some time into that.
Yeah, but she's like, stop.
That's
Or
usually
is she saying come here? Or is she saying come here? I can't tell.
I'm not sure. It looks like a Spanish. It looks like a Spanish horror movie.
It's Italian. It's a Lucio Fulci film.
Oh.
So that probably has some great gore for you, Kyle.
I
You
did
might want
just
to look into it. Butt and gore? Sign me up.
I'm really looking forward to our fucked up shit month because I am getting burned on my stuff that I've been watching. Burned.
Well, yeah, we got to find the right time to do fucked up shit month, because I'm excited for that too. What else we got here? Anything else jumping out at you?
No, Donnybrook might be something you want to check out.
I mean, the name of it plus Frank Grillo. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, maybe.
It's right up your alley.
Yeah, Frank Grillo only has one haircut. Like, he's not allowed to change it, apparently.
Yeah, there's not much else going on here.
I like the cover to Tiger Milk. Like, that
Yeah.
font and that color combo
I do
really
too.
works.
Let me guess. I don't know anything about the movie. Can you pull up the description? And I'm going to see if I can guess what the... Oh, that's fun. We should start doing that. I want to guess from the cover what the movie's about.
Okay, I have it open, so if you want to roll.
Okay.
Tiger Milk 2017.
Tiger Milk 2017. So for those of you not following along, we have two late teens, possibly early 20s girls sitting on what looks like the hood of a car, and they've got some kind of beverage. They're giving each other a look. I'm going to say that one of them has had their mom die, and she's coping with it, and she has her friend helping her. Am I close at all?
I don't think so.
Okay, what's the description?
It actually sounds kind of interesting. And like I said, from the cover, it actually does look kind of interesting. So maybe if it's free, I'll watch it. Maybe. So the description reads, Nini and Jamila are best friends. Together they delve into the urban jungle of Berlin amid clouds of drug smoke and alcoholic dazes, looking for love, sex, and a better future. But life intervenes. Jamila is in danger of being deported to Iraq, and then they witness a murder. So it's...
I was not even remotely close. Okay.
Yeah, it's a couple of girls on a crazy adventure. Sounds kind of cool.
All right.
Yeah. What else we got? We got some anime garbage. Jack Hunter. This cover is delightful. Jack Hunter and the Lost Treasure of Ugarit. So this really wants to be both Anaconda and Indiana Jones, and maybe Noah Wiley's The Librarian, if you've ever heard of that. But yeah, if folks at home, you might want to pull up Jack Hunter. That just looks terrible. What else we got here? The Outsider has... Oh, fuck me. Really? Sean Patrick Flannery.
Oh, no, that's a big no.
And John Fu, who is a decent... He's a pretty good martial artist / stunt man. By the way, Sean Patrick Flannery apparently has been doing jiu-jitsu for like a couple decades or something, and he's trying to get a martial arts movie off the ground. It's supposed to be coming out in like the next year, so...
Yeah, it's a hard skip as Trace Atkins, who is a country singer. If you've got a country singer leading your cast, that's a hard pass.
Plus One looks like derivative rom-com bullshit, but that lady on the front's doing it for me.
Yep, I get you. I'm with you.
Maya Erskine. Keep my eye on you, Maya Erskine.
Steven Seagal in Attrition.
oh fuck, it happened.
He literally has a martial arts pose, and then on the bottom he has a gun and hearing protection for some reason.
Well, I mean, he's got to keep his super hearing in check, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like the world, he's like Superman. It's like he needs to make the world smaller, otherwise his senses will overload. But the description for this is pretty amazing. When a Thai girl with mythical powers goes missing, Axe. His name is Axe, Kyle. And his name is Axe. Axe and his old team unite in attempts to bring her back. 2 lives, 1 game.
I feel silly having to ask this. How has he not done a twin movie where he plays 2 of himself? Where he plays...
Because inevitably one of them would have to lose, and I don't think he's capable of doing that. It would just be a forever fight. It would just be them forever parrying each other's blows. Like no one would even get a clean hit off. They'd be locked in conflict forever. Because he's just that awesome. I'm sorry. So I want to back it up a bit. A Record of Lodos War. I think this is actually a re-release, but that's an OVA series. I taught you what that means only a couple weeks ago. Original video animation. It was from the 90s, 1990 to 1991. It was kind of a big deal. It's like early anime's take on D&D. So it's like Western fantasy. I actually have the series on DVD on my shelf, but I've never watched it because I'm an idiot. The cover for Defiant, Kyle, is that maybe the most derivative? That's the cover to Shooter. Or is that the cover to Shooter?
It's the cover to most things, I think. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, it's like the single most derivative action movie cover you could possibly make.
I don't even know how you can get convinced to do, like, how much money do you get paid to do these movies? I feel like these movies are like you pay to be in these movies. You can't be making any money. I'm really gonna hit it big. I'll give you 10 grand if I can be in Defiant. It's gonna launch my career. Ugh.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's. I hope nobody on the set actually thinks that way. Like that's gonna be their launch pad or something. But you know, everybody's got to work, and if you can make your livings as a working actor, like you're living somebody's dream. Like that's not easy to do. A Bitter Legacy. That looks like something people will cry over. It's about documentary about almost secret citizen isolation camps for dissident Japanese American men and some victims of collaborators during 1943 and 1944.
I don't want to see that.
That sounds rough.
Yeah.
Blood, Sweat, and Terrors. Again, super derivative cover. Some of the color grading they did here is actually like eye-catching, but I can tell it's not good because it's a dumb action movie and I don't know anything about it. Okay, you ready to move on to the next week, Kyle?
Yeah.
Okay, so the following week is August 13th, and right out the gate we get, one of the bigger home video releases, probably for the calendar year. That would be Avengers Endgame, of course on 4K, as well as about a third of the other Marvel movies all on 4K, presumably for the first time. So, I mean, we don't have much more to say about this, right, Kyle? We did like a whole 2-hour thing on this.
Yeah, no, I don't need any of these. I mean, why are these? I mean, this is probably like we got to try to sell these things because once Disney opens up their streaming, who needs to buy these anymore? Like, we've got it all streaming. So, yeah, they're probably the last waves of, like, let's try to get this stuff out, Let's try to get this physical media out.
Yeah. I'm gonna buy Endgame, and, I forget how many times I've mentioned this on the air, but in recent days I've actually been having a lot of fun listening to directors' commentaries. And I gotta say, some of the Marvel movies have pretty good commentaries. Joss Whedon was surprisingly candid about some of the stresses he had on the set. James Gunn is wonderful to listen to. I love that he calls all the people he works with his friends. Like Dave Bautista's never like an actor to him. He's always my friend Dave. And the Russo brothers, they have I don't know, they have a good on-air personality, I guess. So I'd be very curious to hear what they have to say about Endgame.
Say what you will about The Rock, but I honestly think he's making people who have a predisposition to be prima donnas. He's shutting that shit down because The Rock will fucking call you out on your bullshit. You better show up to work on time and be ready to fucking work because The Rock's gonna let you know if you're not doing that. And I honestly think that's like, people are like, I don't want The Rock. If you get on The Rock's bad side, that's not good, man. He has a huge following. Huge following.
Well, I mean, you need to understand the man spent decades in front of, tens of thousands of people, saying inflammatory things that he probably shouldn't be saying, like, and doing it effortlessly.
Yeah.
So for him, tearing someone down on the set, like even a big name celebrity, that ain't no big thing. But yeah, I've heard that too. That if you cross him on the set, it's like, oh, there's gonna be hell to pay.
I feel like it's hard to do a rock impression without it sounding like Barack Obama, because I feel like they're kind of the same. There's just one has a little bit more bass in his voice. The Rock.
Yeah, they are very similar, actually. I don't know. The Rock has gone through so many transformations, though, that to me it's like it's hard to pin down what he actually sounds like anymore. Because like he's become a lot more sanitized in recent years, and he's calmed down a lot. Like one of the things that like a lot of young wrestlers fall prey to is rushing, like both in speaking on the microphone and in conducting themselves in the ring. And I think he's put in so many repetitions that in terms of like his public speaking ability, he's just flawless now. Like you put a microphone in front of him and he's just gonna be The Rock. And just if he's feeling any anxiety or uncertainty about what he's going to be saying, you're not gonna see it at all.
Well, he's also 6'6", 260 pounds of muscle, handsome. Pretty much every heterosexual woman in this country probably would have no problem hooking up with Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I'd be pretty confident too. Like, yeah, and he's made like $1 billion at this point from all the movies he's been in. So yeah, The Rock's probably pretty confident. Yeah, I can see that.
Well, he did the thing that like
he has perfect teeth.
He does. He absolutely does.
Perfect.
And he did get
teeth.
He did get a nose job.
That's fine. What are you gonna do?
Because most Samoans don't have noses like that. I'm not sure if you were aware of that, but
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
But not to completely derail us, but there was this DC comic that was, oh man, it was like one of my favorites. It was great. It didn't last very long, but it was called Secret Six, and like the gimmick of it was that it was like a whole bunch of low-class supervillains. So think like the Guardians of the Galaxy, but on Earth, and they're all bad guys. But in terms of like power level, they're all kind of shitty.
Gotcha.
Anyway, the leader was this kind of small woman named Scandal Savage. But then Bane showed up one day, and his first day on the job with the group, he just says, "I'm the leader." And she's like, "No, you don't understand. We're all really tight with each other. We've been working together a long time. I put this crew together. This is my team." And he's like, "No, I'm the leader." And just like that, he subsumes her position as the leader. And as far as I understand, that's basically what The Rock did with the Fast and Furious franchise. He's just like, "No, you motherfuckers don't understand. I am The Rock, and this is my franchise now."
Well, he's right, because nobody gives a fuck about you, Vin Diesel. You may have been the biggest dude on the set. Nobody wants to watch you in the movie. They're coming for The Rock. That's the only reason why those movies make money, is because The Rock is in them.
Well, I mean, case in point, I didn't start liking those movies like
Nor should
earnestly. No, I didn't start liking them in earnest until the fifth one, until The Rock showed up.
I mean, Vin Diesel hasn't. I'll honestly say he's made one good movie outside of the Fast and the Furious movies, and that's Pitch Black, and that was an accident. And and I don't count him in Saving Private Ryan. He does not count at all. He does nothing to that story. He's the first one to die. His character does nothing leading up till then. He does not count in that movie.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what? Prove Me Guilty, Boiler Room, like, The Pacifier.
Oh my god, I forgot about the pacifier.
All of them hits. The Last Witch Hunter.
The Rock wasn't much better. See, the thing is the Vin Diesel did the pacifier and it was awful. The Rock did Tooth Fairy, but people actually went and watched the Tooth Fairy because it was The Rock.
Mm-hmm. Like, people actually turned out. They actually gave a shit.
He actually,
he's The Rock.
He actually can't fail. I don't think he can fail. He cannot fail.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Oh, no. He can.
Be cool, because that's one of the worst things I've ever seen.
No, Southland Tales.
I don't even know what that is.
We may have to watch that someday, Kyle. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
okay. Is it a bad one?
It's a disaster.
Ooh, we've got plenty. We've got some movies for that. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's legendarily bad. Like unforgivably bad. It's like I don't even know what this is bad. And Sean William Scott's in there too, by the way.
Well, that's a red flag.
Hey, Goon is great.
Goon is great. I love Goon.
You leave Goon alone.
He has his moments. Sean William Scott has his moments. Okay, let's keep moving.
Yeah, let's keep moving. But I want to stop and it's sandwiched between so many fucking Marvel movies that it's so easy to gloss over. But Shadow.
Yeah.
From 2018.
I figured you were going to talk about that, and it's racist that I know you were going to talk about that. I saw the yin yang, and I had a feeling that you might want to talk about that.
Well, for the record, it is Chinese.
Oh no! I just because it was a fighting. I thought it was a fighting movie. I saw the Chinese. I saw the yin yang.
It does have fighting in it. It does have martial arts.
Okay.
In it. So are you Chinese or Japanese?
I knew that the symbol was Chinese. Just so we know. Just so we're clear.
This is the kind of Chinese movie that I tend to shy away from. This would be like a mainland Chinese production. It's like a period piece. They tend to be kind of labyrinthian and just like unapproachable in terms of like if you aren't part of the culture, you probably just won't get it. But this is directed by Zhang Yimou, and he makes beautiful films. Kyle, I don't encourage you to watch this because I have no guarantee as to whether it's good or not. But you may want to look up the trailer and just see if the imagery does anything for you, because the man knows how to make interesting shots.
Is it like 3 hours long? I have a feeling it's like
I'm sure it is. Which is why I won't be watching it, but I know it got a lot of hype, and it does look very cool. So if you are only interested in the aesthetics, maybe you'll get something out of it. I'm just throwing it out there. Vice Squad looks like something I would watch and probably really like. 1982. It's
Is that the mom from E.T.?
It might be.
Dee Wallace is her name, but I can't tell if that's...
I don't see her name in the credits.
Okay.
But it's a Shout Factory release, which means it's trashy and it's 80s, which means it's probably right up my alley. And beside that is The Black Hole from 1979, and I am fucking shocked that this is getting a Blu-ray release.
That's Disney.
Yeah, this is one of Disney's biggest flops, if I remember right. It was a big budget sci-fi movie that they dumped a shit ton of money into the special effects for, and it sold nothing. Like, nobody went to see it. Nobody cared. I think the same thing happened with The Black Cauldron. It was a 80s, I think it was in the 80s, but it was a Disney animated film that like was a horrible box office flop. I don't know if that's gotten a Blu-ray re-release, but yeah, I'm really shocked to see The Black Hole on shelves in 2019. Moving right along, The New Kids, 1985. It has that classy faux VHS packaging, so you know that's going to sell well. Directed by Sean S. Cunningham, though. That is, I think, the Friday the 13th guy.
No.
So yeah, it could be fun.
Not a huge fan of that franchise, but I'm very alone in that because that is a huge following.
Yeah, I enjoy them. I think I'm more prone to enjoying straight up just stupid slasher movies than you are.
Yeah. Yeah, I love this cover. I love this cover.
Yeah. If I remember right, this is the Robert Englund movie that has the caterpillar rape. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, it is.
What?
It is the one with the caterpillar rape. This was a Roger Corman movie that was produced in the wake of Alien, so 1981.
Okay. Who did the special effects for this? Or the makeup effects?
maybe Stan Winston.
I was gonna say if it's
Like,
got Winston or Savini behind it, I'll definitely pick it up.
well, it's not anyone's best work. It's a
Oh,
Roger Corman production,
well,
so
Leviathan's a fun little flick, and it's
yeah,
nobody's best work.
but that had Dino De Laurentiis money backing it. This did not. This had Roger Corman money backing it. Which is enough to get it made, but not enough to get it made well.
Gotta write this shit down.
Oh, and we have a Criterion release, The Inland Sea, and that is a gorgeous cover.
Oh yes, that is. Ooh, who
1991.
who directed that?
Lucio Cara.
It looks Italian.
Um,
Because
it
it looks exactly like the bay that's in Red Desert. There's a scene in Red Desert that has color. But yeah, it looks like there's a scene in there that looks like that. So I thought maybe it was an Italian film.
Oh, it's a. It sounds like an intimate little film. Not sure if I'd consider purchasing that, but that really is a gorgeous cover.
It is a nice cover for sure.
What's the next one that jumps out at you, Kyle?
Well, let me see what we got here. Forbidden World looks kind of fun. Back there, 1982. If it said 2017, I wouldn't have given it a second thought. But there's it looks like a giant space monster and what looks like sand people from the Star War. But the cover art's kind of cool. It's probably atrocious, but it looks like it may be kind of something to check out. I think I might actually try to find Galaxy of Terror once we're done here. That looks.
I think it was on Amazon for free for a little while there. It might not still be there, but just fair warning, like there's some good effects, but not all of them are great.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
And baby Robert Englund. He's got weird hair. Put that much.
Not much else is popping out. Oh, another Stakeout is getting a Blu-ray release.
Yeah, you and I mean, you said it's lost its luster. Is that right?
Big time.
That makes me sad because I watched that movie a lot when I was young.
The jokes,
I loved it.
The jokes they hit like a thud, and like they're just not there. The only good part is when Dennis,
Farina.
Yeah, I was about to say Franz. Dennis Farina. Dennis Farina is on screen because he's fucking hilarious.
When he gets brain freeze, that is my favorite moment in that whole movie.
He's so charismatic. Just his scenes in... I was actually thinking about his scenes in Snatch today for some reason.
Yeah, he has that way about him, man. He's just absurdly charming.
This Nightwish, I feel like this was on Prime. This one had my curiosity because of that cover. It looks like there's some kind of horror element going on. What do you got for a description?
Do you want to guess?
Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So Nightwish.
You can read the tagline if you want.
What does the tagline say?
It says, "In your dreams, no one can hear you scream."
Oh, well, okay. Let's see here.
My opinion of this film instantly dropped 10 points.
Damn. I was going to say, like, did anybody see Nightmare on Elm Street? I was going to guess that this is a movie about a lady werewolf. But something tells me that it is a ghost that kills people in their dreams.
Okay. Well, the official back-of-the-box description is a professor and 4 graduate students journey to a crumbling mansion to investigate paranormal activity and must battle ghosts, aliens, and satanic entities.
All right.
Wow.
Writing it down.
That's a lot of battling.
Nightwish 1989. I feel like that cover is not giving it the right tone.
Yeah, it sounds a lot dumber.
Yeah, it does sound a lot dumber.
But it is it needs to be said the disc is printed by Unearthed Films, and I just pulled up the other products that they've put out. We've actually mentioned many of them on the air, including A Record of Sweet Murder, The Unnameable, and Brutaru, Japanese film, all of which have stunning covers. And it looks like they have a intensely varied catalog. Like some of these look like straight up schlock, but some of them look like art films. So it could be a crapshoot, but worth writing down.
I'll check out the trailer.
Start there.
Marlon Brando in The Ugly American. I need to watch more of his older movies. I gotta see what the big deal is. Why he was the highest paid actor. Get the butter. Leave It to Beaver. I watched this movie several times. Like this was we didn't own it. We rented it like 3 times and watched it a total of 3 times. Like each time we got it. Michael McDonald. Is it Michael McDonald?
Chris McDonald.
Chris McDonald. Michael McDonald's from Mad TV.
Yeah, that's right.
Chris McDonald.
Chris McDonald's a fucking balls.
I love him. It just if he pops up in a movie, I'm like, okay, this may not be good. I'm gonna enjoy him. He's always
That's my
great.
favorite part of SLC Punk.
He is pretty great in there. I didn't sell out.
Man.
I bought in.
Fuck you, dear.
I need to watch
He's
that.
so good.
I need to watch House Arrest. I never watched that, and apparently he's one of the dads in there.
Apparently he's the best part of it too.
I can believe that.
Yeah.
The man's just got comedic timing. It's great.
He's great.
Contemporary James Spader, Blacklist.
After the hairline retreated to the north.
I find myself watching his Robert California clips on The Office, and I want him to do more funny things, but I feel like he just takes too much. He takes too serious of roles. Like this is a serious role. I need him to be Robert California more because he's fucking hilarious on there.
No, he has comedic timing for sure. I mean, he was on an episode of Seinfeld, and he was kind of funny. He wasn't intended to be.
Everybody
he wasn't intended to be funny.
That's the thing.
That's true.
He. I don't think he's ever. That's the thing. I don't think he can try and be funny. Someone needs to write something for him to do that we would think is funny. Like,
okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's not naturally funny. He's just a good actor.
He's just a good actor, and if you need him to be funny, he can be.
Okay. There's a movie of his that I've brought up several times that I may force you to watch called Supernova. It's terrible. It's wretched, but it has an interesting production history, and he has like fucking abs in it. Like he got super jacked for it in I think the late 90s. And it was kind of like when John Travolta got super jacked for Basic, where it's like, why this movie and why did you not keep it up? It's like you were in shape for 5 minutes because The Punisher came out very shortly after Basic and he was already flabby again.
Well, I watched the first like 10 minutes of Tough Turf when he's just like floppy haired, skinny little James Spader. The years have not been kind to him.
No, he had him some hoagies and just never looked back.
Oh, sorry.
No, go for it.
This Billy Crudup in the Turtle, it's distracting. The Waking the Dead.
I don't even think I see that one.
Billy Crudup, it's right. It's the next line. It's the first movie with Jennifer Connelly.
Oh, that's Billy Crudup.
Look at him.
I thought that was Steve Jobs.
He almost looks like a French actor from like the French New Wave.
Yeah,
that looks like one of those old movies. But no, that's a 2000 Billy Crudup, and the Jennifer Connelly 2000. That is a fine year. That is a fine year for a Connelly.
I think I liked my Jennifer Connelly like a few years before that.
Like Labyrinth when she's 15. You fucking perv.
No, I haven't even seen Labyrinth. I'm talking the
you
fucking
haven't seen
Rocketeer.
Labyrinth? Oh my!
I know.
God.
I haven't seen the Goonies and I haven't seen Labyrinth. I'm a bad person.
Damn.
No, I'm talking the Rocketeer, man. I'm talking Dark City, man.
Oh, Dark City. She's a peach. Yes.
Rocketeer. Holy shit.
She was fine in the movie with the Darren Aronofsky.
Yeah, I haven't seen that either, Kyle.
Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah,
write down Goonies. We got to put that on the list like now. We've got to get that going soon. Labyrinth and the Goonies. Wow.
Okay. I'm a bad person. I know. What we got here? We got Finding Steve McQueen from 2017. That flew in under the radar.
You don't say.
It's got William Fichtner in it.
I like Fichtner.
I do like me some Fichtner. All is true. Oh my God, Kenneth Branagh in a Shakespeare movie? That never happens. Not ever.
Stars.
And Ian McKellen, Sir Ian.
I was talking with some guys at work. I was talking about Kenneth Branagh, and I don't remember what I was referencing, but I was like trying to explain who he was. I'm like, Kenneth Branagh, he's the guy from Wild Wild West with the weird facial hair. And I'm like, yeah, he's like he's Irish or something. I'm like, he's like Irish, and he's. We were talking about Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, the one that he directed, and I'm like, yeah, I wasn't a big fan of that. And the guy I work with just goes, "Don't you just hate that song?" Just out of nowhere.
Perfect.
It was perfect timing when he did
That's
it.
perfect.
I'm like, that's him. That is him.
Yep.
Yeah, there's not much else going on here. We have a Stars movie release. Is that? It looks like Michelle Moynihan, I think is her name. Monahan.
Monahan, I think.
Is it Monahan?
I think so.
It's not. Is that her? Because it doesn't. It looks kind of like her. Oh,
What's the movie called?
The Spanish Princess. Sorry.
Oh, I don't think that's her.
No, I don't think it is. It just really looks like her. I just watched the Boris Karloff Black Sabbath, and it's a horror anthology. And the lady in the second one is an Italian actress. I believe she's now deceased. She looks exactly like Sophia Loren, like so much so that I had to keep checking. I'm like, that's got to be that's her. That's got to be her. It's not her. It's just another Italian actress. It was driving me nuts. I'm like, it's right there. She's so close.
Well, I mean, good for her. It's
Yeah, probably. That's not a
bad
bad
way
look.
to be.
That's not
It's
a bad
not a
look.
bad look at all.
I'm not Sophia Loren, but I look like her. I'm like, well, that works.
Shit. This man's chin on the cover for Enemy Within is making me nervous.
I thought you were talking about Vault.
Well, no, that's just Don Johnson melting in the sun.
Ugh.
But Enemy Within, yeah, that man's chin has got issues.
Yeah.
Okay, we're putting out all the DreamWorks animated films on Blu-ray again. These are, of course, nothing new. So I'm not even going to list all of them. So basically, just imagine a DreamWorks animated film.
That's it.
Yeah, I guarantee you it's going to be on the list. Leprechaun, the complete collection. Saw, an 8-film collection. Fuck, they got up to 8.
I got up to 8. Hit 10, dude. Fuck it. Just keep going.
Yeah, I know. Go for it. That's actually I'm actually really hoping the Fast and Furious movies actually do get to 10, so they can come up with a crazy title for Fast 10. And that looks to be about it for that week.
Yeah.
So let's head on down to August 20th. Right out the gate, we get an Arrow release. Always a good thing. For Al Pacino's Cruising from 1980. I have not seen this film, but it is known. I shall read the back of the box description, more for my own entertainment than for you, the listener. New York is caught in the grip of a sadistic serial killer who is preying on the patrons of the city's underground bars. Captain Edelson tasks young rookie Steve Burns with infiltrating the S&M subculture to try and lure the killer out of the shadows.
I would actually watch that.
No, I've heard it's very good. Like I said, it's known.
Why is it getting an Arrow release?
Arrow is a very diverse publisher. They put out all sorts of stuff. Some of them like classics of the highest order. Some of them absolute schlock. This would be more in the classic category. They also put out American Werewolf in London, I think, not too long ago.
Kind of like The General's Daughter. This may not age well as far as sexuality goes. So that might be why it's an Arrow release, especially if we're going into that culture, that subculture. Yeah, I need to watch old Pacino because he's one of the most famous American actors of all time, and I can't stand him for the most part. So I feel like I need to go back and watch his older movies.
See, I feel like that's why I enjoy having these conversations with you, Kyle, because not everybody is that way when it comes to their entertainment or their cinema diet. For me, I subject myself to things knowing that maybe I'm not going to like it, but I come at it from like an angle of curiosity. It's like I would like to better understand this even if I don't agree with it. So I kind of have a similar relationship with Al Pacino,
Right?
where it's like I don't know that what he's doing is necessarily good, but he's doing something, and it's fascinating. So I'm kind of in the same boat. I would very much like to see more of like young Pacino at the peak of his powers, because it's something that's largely not known to me. I'm more used to the schlocky devil's advocate like Al Pacino. Yeah, you know, little older, giving a few less fucks.
What are your thoughts on the movie Insomnia? I remember watching it when I was younger, and I was probably a little too young to really understand what was going on. But I feel like it was a good dramatic role for Robin Williams, and and I know that Al Pacino plays the cop in there. I just can't remember if it was any good.
So I can't remember it either. But one of my very good friends, who is an artist by trade, and actually did go to a form of film school. He adores that film. Like he thinks very highly of it. He in particular he loves the soundtrack.
Oh, interesting.
But he's a big Christopher Nolan fan, and that's actually
That's
one
Chris
of his
Nolan?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
And it's one of my friend's favorite Christopher Nolan movies.
Interesting.
So I've been saying it for years now. That's like, man, like you're always telling me how great that movie is, and we usually agree on most things. But I just don't remember this movie, so I really need to go back and take another look at it. Is what I'm trying to say.
Well, it seems like a movie that neither Al Pacino fans nor Robin Williams fans would really want to watch. Like it just the subject matter. Like it just didn't seem to be too interesting.
Well, yeah, from a casting standpoint, it's like, hang on, are we intentionally getting the wrong people for these roles?
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing, guys?
Because we were around like Patch Adams at this time, and maybe at that time, and maybe even Flubber wasn't even that far behind.
Well, I mean, and think of what we know of Christopher Nolan. He's a bit of a robot. Like
Yeah.
he's not too big on emotion for the most part, and Al Pacino is nothing but that. He tends to be like hyperbolic and a little bit over the top, and to cast him as a dour and half awake drunk detective or whatever is kind of out of left field.
I need to watch that Robin Williams documentary on HBO, but I don't need to cry today, so I need to find the day where I want to cry, because that's what's gonna happen.
You need to get your closure.
The Witches, I am shocked, is not directed by Terry Gilliam. I remember watching it and then watching a Terry Gilliam film, and I'm like, oh, I feel like this is, specifically Brazil. I'm like, this feels like Witches. I don't know why, but the Witches reveal feels like a Terry Gilliam movie. It's not, but yeah, just that one scene felt like it.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. That's basically the only thing I remember about that movie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I ever finished it because it freaked me out a bit too much. Like the scene of Angelica Houston becoming the witch lady, and then the kid turning into the rat or the mouse. Holy shit! Like that was just too much back to back. And yeah, I think it was like playing in my school library or something, and it was just on, and I walked in and I like just to see that scene, and I was like, I'm good. Like I'm good. Bye.
Evil Dead time is coming up soon. I might watch The Witches again. I don't know. I'll see what I think. See what I think about it.
It has a decent reputation. Like I think it's probably a good kids film. It's just I never bothered to finish it.
Back when we were making kids films a little creepy, which I think we should bring back. Let's bring that back.
And beside that, we have Brightburn, which
Yes.
I think we were talking about not too long ago. So this was, I believe, written by James Gunn. It's basically, from what I gleaned from the trailers, evil Superman story. I am probably going to rent this. I certainly will not buy it. I'm not too big on owning horror movies, and I don't even know if this qualifies as a straight up horror movie. This seemed like more of a high concept thriller that apparently is very, very violent from the reviews I've read, but I'm curious enough to actually see it.
You should really own the horror movies that are rewatchable. Like, I'm not going to buy The Conjuring. It's pretty much a one and done kind of deal.
No, you got to be selective.
Yeah.
Like you can't just indiscriminately buy horror movies and expect to watch them consistently. Beside that, we have a Criterion release, Magnificent Obsession from 1954.
Looks like mind-numbingly boring, but who knows? It could be good. I mean, it's probably good.
It's a well rendered cover. It's a Rock Hudson movie. I know he was doing it for a lot of people around that time, and 1954 was a big year for movies. That's actually kind of I don't know if I could be wrong, but it looks like a bit of a racy cover for 1954.
For the time. Oh my goodness, He's got his head in her bosom.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's racy. 1954. I'm pretty sure Don Draper was really cheating on his wife at this time. Like, my goodness, we can't be putting that kind of stuff up there. Yeah. Jeez. Walking Dead, I still kind of want to watch it just because it's a TV show that committed to zombies. But I've heard that it is needless. Like, this is like it. You don't need to watch it. It's fine, but I think I might try to tackle it.
Well, 9 years plus on television with pretty high budget backing it and a very large cast. Inevitably, there is going to be some wheel spinning that has to happen in order to sustain that production.
You know what's
go for it.
I was gonna say the thing. Can you guess what's keeping me from watching it?
Exactly that. The filler.
No, 2 words. There's 2 words.
You got me. What are those words?
Norman Reedus.
Yeah. I mean, you can smell him through the TV.
Ugh. I hate seeing him. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, I had no problem with him before, but he's left such a bad taste. Like, every time I see him, I'm like, fuck that dude. Every time I see him.
He's going to be there's a very high profile video game coming out soon called Death Stranding that it's a Japanese game, and the director of the game reached out to him personally and had him scanned into the game and had him do performance capture for it. So he's the main character of it.
Ugh.
Along with that Léa Seydoux or whatever, or however you say her name.
I don't know.
French gal from Spectre.
Oh yeah, that French girl. I know who you're talking about. I don't know her name, but yeah.
But yeah, you now have the opportunity to play an entire video game as Norman Reedus.
I'm fine. What else we got here? Arrow. Horror of Frankenstein, which I believe is a Hammer.
Yep. Yeah. I've been saying it, man. Like, it seems like every month there's a Hammer re-release.
Hammer
putting them out piecemeal.
Hammer had you can buy this for $10. You can buy 8 of Hammer's ripoffs of classic Universal monster movies. And I'm like, yeah, I think I'm fine. I thought I might pick them up, just like, hey, it might be kind of fun. I was gonna get the 8 classics, like the Wolfman, Dracula, Frankenstein, Invisible Man, Creature of the Black Lagoon. I was thinking about picking that up, but I just recently watched the Dracula 1931, Bela Lugosi. Yeah, it's a fun one to watch. It's interesting. And short. God damn it. Less than 90 minutes.
Yeah, that was the style at the time. I've always heard the Spanish version of that movie is potentially superior. Filmed on the same sets, just with a different crew and actors.
Interesting.
So they would just come in after the Americans finished their work, and then they would reshoot the entire movie.
Interesting. Well, I'll be honest. The story of Dracula doesn't make a whole ton of sense, and the guy who plays Fritz in Frankenstein, he plays
Fry.
Yeah, he's in Dracula. He is awful. He really is annoying in Dracula.
That'll happen.
last year at Marienbad has been on my list for a while. I've heard it's a really visually it's a nice film. I just haven't gotten around to it.
I've never heard of it, but let me know if you get around to it.
It might be a while. I'm just saying. 4D, man, that looks like something you might want to watch.
Yeah, well, actually, I mean, I haven't seen it, but it is something that I read about when I was a kid. I had a B-movie book that I used to flip through. I think it was at the school library, and that was one of them. That and the Man with X-ray eyes, and Them, and all those B movies and stuff. The atomic era of horror movies. Billy the Kid versus Dracula. I mean, I'm sure that's terrible, but that is a striking cover.
Yeah,
that works
it is.
for me. American Gods, I've heard, is very good. This is the season 2 box set. The Hustle, no thanks. I'm good.
I'm good.
I Trapped the Devil is a movie I think I've mentioned to you a long time, like not that long ago, but a few months back. But I heard this was very quaint, but quite good.
Trapped the Devil.
I Trapped the Devil. It's like a bottle drama, I guess. Like it is dirt cheap. Like they made this with no money basically, but it's like a psychological thriller where there's like a small group of people and there's one guy who's taking up vigil, like sitting in front of a door in his basement saying, "Hey, so I trapped the devil in my basement, and we got to keep an eye on this door because he might get out." And apparently it's just pretty solid horror entertainment.
A Dog's Journey, never gonna watch that. Uncle Tom's Cabin, I don't think I'm gonna watch that.
Yeah, I'm good.
The Big O, what is that?
I've mentioned that several times.
Yeah, you've mentioned it.
Yeah, I've mentioned it several times. It's a giant robot show, but at the same time, it's an anime that I think it was. The animation house was the same studio that was involved in the production of Batman the Animated Series, so it has that going for it. It's good times. In fact, I might actually buy this because I never finished the series, but I got pretty far into it when it was airing on American television. The Brink.
Yeah.
That is a disappointment. Don't pay to see it. So The Brink is a Hong Kong production. It has a couple of big name actors in it that I like. Probably the most prominent among them being Max Zhang, who basically if you need someone to punch someone in your Chinese movie, he's gonna be in it these days. As well as Pacific Rim 2, because why not? He's just there to be in a suit and then I think die at the end. And then Sean Yu, who's typically reliable. I don't know, he almost had like a Brad Pitt thing going in his career at one point, where he's a very absurdly handsome man, but like he had this habit of picking roles where he'd like dress himself down or be like some hangdog character or something, and he does that in this for sure. But trailers for it looked pretty good, but holy shit, just nothing in it comes together the way I wanted it to. It was a big disappointment.
I watched The Reef, Shark Attack movie from 2010. Pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember that one, but I like me some shark movies.
Better than Open Water. Way better than Open Water. Shot with real sharks in the ocean. It's actually I went in expecting it to be like really good, and it wasn't like crazy good, but I was very it in a way it kind of exceeded my expectations. Like I was expecting it to be scarier. It wasn't scarier than I thought. It was shot better than I thought. That's where it exceeded my expectations. So it's definitely worth watching if you like Shark Attack movies. Yeah, I'd say it's probably the best one I've seen, in all honesty.
Well, I mentioned it, I think, on the last Blu-ray, The Shallows. Check it out.
Okay.
It's surprisingly not bad. But moving right along, the cover for Aniara, it looks very old-fashioned, but it looks kind of cool.
Yeah.
Spaceship carrying settlers to Mars is knocked off course, causing the consumption-obsessed passengers to consider their place in the universe. Oof. Sounds heavy.
Yeah.
But that's. It doesn't sound like something I'd watch, but it sounds like a very good concept for like a novel or something. A couple of 80s throwback covers here. Camp Wedding from 2019. They're definitely pushing the 80s nostalgia thing that we're in the thick of these days.
Mm-hmm.
The color palette and the font will tell you that. Fright World, that is a metal as fuck cover.
Yeah, that's pretty metal.
It's from 2006. And then Red Scream Vampires with a Y. David R. Williams, do I know him? I don't think so. But
it looks like it's pretty fucking graphic.
Yeah, it looks pretty savage. Can't guarantee that it's any good, but
It's probably not.
yeah. And then we have Lolo with another striking cover, and they got all those are those oak leaves or whatever to tell you that it won awards or was nominated for a lot of awards.
Yeah, I don't buy those. Those usually.
No, I don't put stock in that, but it's definitely a marketing technique.
I've been fooled before. Man,
Okay, so
yeah.
let's move on to August 27th, and right up front we got a big one that you might want to consider: Apocalypse Now, 4K. This would be the version of the film that I think was very recently re-released in IMAX theaters. So this is the Coppola quote-unquote final cut of the film, remastered in 4K. And let's see, is there a review up for this one yet? No, there is not, unfortunately. But that's something to keep your eyes out for, Kyle.
Yeah, I need a 4K player. Stand By Me, which I can't stand.
Really? I'm
I
surprised.
fucking hated it. It was so annoying. Like these kids are like fucking 10 or 11 and they're talking like 30-year-old men. I'm like, I'm not buying any of the dialogue in this, dude. Not buying any of it. And that's all the movie is dialogue. So, I mean, except for when he says, "Why don't you go home and fuck your mother some more?" You're too young to be able to get that one, River Phoenix. I'm just saying.
I mean, I'm not going to fight you on that, but I actually enjoy it.
That's fine. I get the appeal. I get it. It's just not. It's not for me.
Daniel Stern versus Richard Dreyfuss as narrator. Go. Who's better?
Yeah, Daniel Stern, easily.
Goddamn.
Godzilla King of the Monsters. Are you gonna buy this?
Day one, motherfucker.
Fuck yeah. You admit it. You liked it. You liked it in the theater.
I did.
It was great.
No. The thing that I emphasized when we were talking about too is like if you have seen a Godzilla movie, then you should know what to expect and you should be very happy with what you got.
Yeah.
Because like I love reading complaints about Godzilla movies and having people bitch about like, oh, he doesn't show up until like 40 minutes into it. It's like, have you seen a Godzilla movie? You don't even have to have an entire Godzilla rack. Just have you seen a Godzilla movie?
The build up to him showing up is the most fun.
Yes, Kyle, you get it.
Did you tell me about 5 or V, however you want to say it?
It's V.
V.
No, I didn't. It was a TV miniseries that made a huge splash. It was before both of our times, but I remember this being available for rent on VHS at like the grocery store and stuff. Though it was a big deal.
I've recently was reading about it. I've heard it's worth our time. Don't know. I'm still, maybe once I get past this first season of Star Trek, I might be able to trust some other sci-fi stuff. But right now, I am just not feeling like going out on a limb because I am just trudging through this first season and. Yeesh.
Well, I mean, I told you I've been plugging away at TNG for a couple of years now. I'm still not done. Like I still have an entire season left.
It's not like the X-Files, dude. The X-Files you go through quick because those are awesome.
I started that, but I stopped for reasons I don't even remember.
Yeah, you should probably start that back up again.
Yeah, I would very much like to. I was very happy with it.
Rocket Man. I haven't heard anything about this.
I mean, inevitable comparisons to
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah. The major difference being that this one they did the music. They actually sang. So no lip singing.
Oh, really?
And it's a traditional musical. I mean, they took a lot of liberties.
Oh, it's a musical.
For sure.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. No, it's a traditional musical with song and dance numbers. It actually looked like a well put together film. Like I might watch that.
They really missed an opportunity here.
So it's not so much a biopic as just like kind of a
funsies.
More of a whimsical take on the life of Elton John.
I say the motherfucker's not dead. Taron Egerton. I wish they would have put Taron Egerton is the bitch Rocket Man. The bitch is back. Get it?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. Hell Comes to Frogtown. Man.
Yeah, Rowdy Roddy Piper.
Rowdy Roddy Piper.
in Hell Comes to Frogtown. Fuck yes.
Oh, right. In the same, I was gonna say, in the same lane, we have a Criterion release from what I can only assume is Japanese director. The Flavor of Green Tea Over Rice.
Oh, I haven't seen this film, but I just opened it, and the director is Yasujiro Ozu. For that time period, he was like top 3 director in the country.
I was gonna say like Scorsese of the
Basically.
50s Japan.
Well, there were like 3 big names, and he was one of them, basically.
Is this worth? I mean, what's this about? Because I can't do like romantic foreign stuff. I just can't do it.
I think it's just a domestic drama, but it says in the 1950s, married life has become very routine for middle-aged Japanese couple Mokichi and Taiko. Taiko calls her husband Dole, while Mokichi spends most of his time at the office. Their young niece Setsuko is determined to escape their fate, so she refuses to accept the details of an arranged marriage set up by their parents. So yeah, domestic drama.
That's a little bit much for me.
Yeah, his movies are traditionally very quaint, but expertly acted, and they have that dose of reality to them that was maybe a little bit rare for the time.
Okay.
But yeah, very, very skillful filmmaker. I had to watch a lot of his movies in college.
Can we talk about Flesh Gordon?
Sure. What do you want to say?
Isn't it Flash Gordon? Why is it Flesh Gordon?
No, this is like a parody of it.
Is it a porno parody?
I don't know if it's straight up porno, but the description reads, Planet Porno is threatening Earth's very existence with a deadly sex ray. It's up to Flesh Gordon to penetrate the planet's defenses and beat Emperor Wang into submission.
It might be a porn parody.
It might be. I'm not sure if it is. But
getting a Blu-ray release?
No, I mean, fuck. Deep Throat got a Blu-ray release like 6 months ago.
It's culturally significant. Okay.
It's like, you shut your damn mouth.
Shut up. Shut your mouth. The Coker trilogy?
I don't know who that is, but it's Criterion. Abbas Kiarostami is the director. They are foreign from a country. I'm sorry. Oh, Iran.
Oh, okay.
So he's an Iranian director. Apparently he directed a trilogy. I don't know anything about him, but that's a good cover, and it's a Criterion, so it's probably worth your time.
It's probably worth your time.
Yeah. We got Secret Life of Pets 2. Don't care.
No.
The Wax Mask really, really, really wants to be Terminator.
Holy shit! Did you see the
What's
title of this movie?
Which one?
Directly below Wascally Wabbit Wax Mask.
Sure, I'll say it on the air if you can't. 9 Lives of a Wet Pussy.
Yep.
1976.
I think it's supposed to be a play on cats, but I think they're talking about something else there.
I mean, the description reads, a series of related episodes featuring the erotic escapades of a young New York heiress and the people associated with her. So it's that HBO show about the weed dealer, but with a lady sleeping around.
Interesting.
The Banana Splits 2019? What?
I don't know what that is.
The Banana Splits was like a 1970s children's show. And these characters that we're looking at here on the cover art are those characters. So I don't know what this is. Like, it was children's television from the 70s. I only know that because my brother had that CD that was a bunch of contemporary 90s bands doing covers of like kids television show theme songs.
Yeah.
And one of them was the Tra-La-La-La song from the Banana Splits. The Last Black Man in San Francisco 2019. That's a title.
Yeah.
It's got a certified fresh marker on it, so you know it's worth your your money. Let My Puppets Come. I need to assume that's another porno.
Not related to 9 Lives of a Wet Pussy. But yeah, I think you're right, because that does seem phallic. And that Mortimer and what's the other one? Not more.
Oh,
I can't
my
think of
friend would slap. My friend would slap me right now
They're the
for
best.
not being able to remember.
They're the funniest ones in the Muppet Christmas Carol.
Well, they are the best Muppets.
Oh, they're so funny.
Yeah.
I can't remember. You know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah, this is the old guys in the rafters or in the opera
Oh,
seating
speaking of which, Insomnia, 1997.
on Criterion.
Wow.
Oh, that's the Is this the original? Yes, this is the original with Stellan Skarsgård.
Oh,
Yeah, the Nolan one was a remake. It was a Swedish film.
interesting. I think I would prefer the Stellan Skarsgård. I think I would watch that. Interesting.
Well, now's your chance.
Yeah,
on
wrong.
Criterion.
We got the Goonies, which Trevor hasn't seen. Beetlegeist. The
Betelgeuse.
the people versus Larry Flint. I didn't realize how big of a Woody Harrelson fan I am. I really like Woody Harrelson. This is a good movie. I would recommend watching it if you haven't seen it.
I haven't,
Yeah,
but I do like Woody.
Yeah.
He's a selling point.
Plays Larry Flint, the founder of Hustler magazine. Yeah. So we've got some other stuff here. The World's End, which I very much like. Nick Frost, Simon Pegg.
Oh yeah. The last of the Cornetto trilogy,
Yeah.
which I've officially seen.
None of?
What? One of now.
What'd you see?
When I saw Hot Fuzz.
Damn it.
Yeah,
I mean, that one's
that's
good.
The only one I've seen.
Ooh, yes, I am. Oh, how'd you like Bill Nighy at the very beginning? He's like, yes, I am. I'm the chief inspector.
Oh, Bill Nighy's a delight. Like, I'm always happy to see him.
He's great. Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've got The Garden, which, whatever. Oh, by the way, have you seen the trailer for Little Women?
No.
Did we
Is
need...
that a remake?
Yeah, it's Emma Watson and some other chicks. They're playing Little Women.
I'm curious to see what the cast looks like.
Is this... Okay, so I'm looking at Killers Anonymous. This looks like Sean Penn first. Looks like Sean Penn in aged makeup. Gary Oldman in the middle, slumming it. And then Jennifer Lopez with a bandana. How close am I?
So, that is in fact Gary Oldman in the middle,
Oh
looking
my
very much,
God.
looking very much like Robert Patrick.
Yes,
As in
he does.
T-1000.
He does look like Robert Patrick, yes.
That is not Jennifer Lopez. That is Jessica Alba.
What is she doing in a movie? She's a billionaire.
Yeah. And then one of the bigger surprises.
That's the guy from Braveheart, isn't it? The guy
Yes,
with
it is.
That's him. Okay, the Scarface guy.
It's the guy from Gladiator. His manservant.
Correct.
Cicero.
Yeah.
That's maybe the first time his name has ever been at the top of a cast.
Yeah. What the fuck is Gary Oldman doing? He just won an Oscar not too long ago.
Well, he also did that Gerard Butler movie not too long ago.
Ooh.
So maybe his finances aren't in order, or maybe he just likes working.
Hey man, it's like fuck it. I won an Oscar. Now I can do whatever the fuck I want. He tried to play a little person. in Tiptoes. So.
Well, I mean, what? Halle Berry went and did Catwoman like right after she got hers.
Well, that was a
It
good move.
happens.
That was a good move on her part because if she's getting half naked the whole time, she can just ask for the money. Oh, you want Halle Berry? I think she calls herself Halle Berry. You want Halle Berry to get naked? Halle Berry's gonna need about $5 million to do this movie. Oh, Halle Berry's not doing it. Steve Martin, if you're into that, here's a Blu-ray release of The Jerk. The Wax Mask. This cover looks a little bit better than the other one.
I think it looks more distinct, and yeah, it looks. I like the lighting on this figure's face. Like it looks like something I would have rented when I was a kid. Krampus. Re-release.
Yes.
Krampus. Ouija. I heard that was terrible. From
Yep.
2014.
Don't even need to watch it.
Popstar. Didn't you say you turned that off in like the first
5 minutes.
or something?
Five fucking minutes. Could not watch it. Unwatchable. Viggo Mortensen, Jason
Good.
Isaacs, Jodie Whittaker.
It's not a,
Is that a
it's
Nazi
not
flag?
a good
back-
title.
Is there a Nazi flag back there?
Yes, there is.
Yeah. I don't know about all that. There's a Tim Allen movie.
Yeah,
Hulk.
someone someone who isn't the Disney Corporation paid Tim Allen?
It looks like a backdoor Disney movie because look at the color of the font there. Color
Yeah,
of the
I mean,
letters.
I see where you're coming from.
Man.
Wow, they got some decent ladies in there though. It's like shocking.
Yeah, right. Annabelle, which I will not watch.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, not much else going on here.
Yeah, that might be the end of it. Big Top Evil 2019. That looks terrible.
Yeah.
So yeah, I believe that pretty much wraps up our little jaunt through the Blu-ray catalog for the month of August in the year 2019. I don't imagine you'll be buying any of these, right, Kyle?
I'm not gonna be buying these necessarily. This is kind of just free advertising for these people. I am gonna check out a trailer for Galaxy of Terror, 1981. I'm gonna watch the trailer for Shadow, 2018, and Nightwish.
Yes.
See what's going on there. Cruising, that's one that I'm assuming is probably pretty cheap. The Cruising 1980, the Al Pacino one, because I don't think there's a lot of people really gonna be buying the hell out of that thing. If I was gonna buy one, it would probably be Galaxy of Terror.
Okay, that's fair. I don't imagine you'll be buying it because I actually saw it a long time ago. But definitely check out the trailer. I'm definitely gonna be picking up Godzilla King of the Monsters Day 1.
Man, I don't own.
I think you said you were going to.
I might.
Can
I was
take
gonna say
that back.
because I don't own 2014, but god damn it, is that Godzilla, that newer one, definitely watchable.
I can give you a DVD of 2014.
I don't need it. It's got that Aaron Paul Lewis, whatever his name is.
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
That's what I said.
So nice they named him thrice.
Yeah.
But I'm serious. I can straight up give it to you.
I don't want
it. I just have one laying around.
Does not surprise me, but no, thank you.
Apocalypse Now, like you said, you don't have a 4K television or a player, so that's something that
that's one
I think you should get at some point, but obviously not right now.
I'll own it down the road, probably when I'm gonna rewatch Apocalypse Now, which I don't need to. I don't need to right now. I'll get there.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna rent I Trapped the Devil. And,
I think I am too.
And Brightburn, I'll rent that too.
You do Brightburn and tell me how it goes.
Okay, that's fair.
I need word of mouth on that.
I would love to purchase Avengers Endgame, but every time these Marvel movies come out, they sell out immediately, so you gotta wait a few weeks usually.
Jesus.
Yeah, people are nuts. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna buy that, and I'm gonna watch it and listen to the commentary because I'm that kind of person.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a couple I'll shell out some money for, but yeah, most of these are just gonna be rentals this month. That being said, oh shit, there's a movie called Aspen Extreme.
A podcast that I very much enjoy. That is one of their movies on their way back catalog, like when they first started doing the podcast.
Oh, isn't that the title of a South Park episode? It's like every 80s sports movie ever put into one episode.
It's very possible. Yeah, if you pizza when you're supposed to French fry, you're gonna have a bad. If you French fry when you're supposed to pizza, you're gonna have a bad time.
That'd be the one, and I think that is the title of the episode.
That is very possible.
That's why it rung a bell. But yeah, 1993 getting a Blu-ray re-release August 27th. But yeah, thanks for joining us as we caught up on Blu-ray for the month of August. I guess we'll catch you next time.
Yep.